narrative's going to be, again, should Indiana have been in?
Right.
The one thing I didn't understand when we did the ACC championship game, Clemson played SMU, and a lot of people were saying, well, if SMU doesn't win the championship, don't get the automatic bid, they're probably out. Alabama's going to be in. I didn't understand why Indiana wasn't included in that conversation.
Yeah, and
I didn't understand, I know they were 11-1, but what was it about their resume said they were clearly more deserving than SMU or Alabama?
I think it was the Big Ten. I also think it had something to do with how convincing it looked and the, quote, eye test and the execution level that they had against subpar competition. I think that had a lot to do with it. And then I think people also looked at it and said, well, they had a bunch of self-inflicted mistakes against Ohio State. That's why that game got sideways without really looking at it and thinking that game probably could have been worse than it was had Ohio State played a little better along the line of scrimmage. But I do think they need to really look at the criteria moving forward in these bloated conferences where people are making unequal
I think they need to lose the assumption that the SEC and the Big Ten are clearly head and shoulders above everybody else, particularly the Big Ten. I mean, the SEC has the recent history, Alabama, Georgia, but the Big Ten's won 2 national championships in college football since when? 2002?
2002, Ohio State won in 2002. So 2003, they've won 2.
So that's 22 seasons.
At the 40-yard line, at the 40.5-yard line, it will be 4th down at that spot.
Of course, Ohio State won the first college football playoff, Michigan last year. But I don't understand why there's this presumption, it seems, for many that the Big Ten in particular is so much better than the ACC or the Big 12. Not sure what that's based on. There's a lot of talk about strength of schedule. Well, you're playing each other. So if you just assume, well, our league's better than everybody else, so therefore our strength will be tough. What if your league isn't better than everybody else? Is your strength of schedule better than everybody else?
I think it's a fair point to look at for sure. Strength of schedule is a little bit of a variable based on how teams around you perform, and if they're playing each other.
Yeah, I don't get it. Our strength of schedule is the best.